everybody, and welcome to another episode of Leslie Said What? Yes, welcome, guys. I am super excited, as always, like I always start and say, super excited about tonight's show. Tonight, we have our special guest, Venus Monique, and I'm super excited that she is able to take the time out to be here. It's truly a blessing what she does, and I'm super excited for her to tell you guys about it. Hey, Chris, you already popped in. I'm so glad to see you. So guys, as always, feel free to join the conversation, ask questions as always. Just feel free to join in and enjoy the show. Like I said, this is not some one-sided deal. Like I said, truly, we are laid back, but I want to make sure that we remember, that next week ends our first section of series on interviewing people in Christian entertainment. So this is going to be our next to last episode, in Christian entertainment. So, but I'm super excited. I really wanted you guys to get the opportunity to be exposed to different things that are involved in Christian entertainment that a lot of times you just don't get the opportunity to hear about, to see, to know. And this has been a great opportunity. We have had so many guests over the last few weeks that have introduced amazing titles for you guys to add to your DVD list, to add to your streaming lists, all the way around. So we are excited that Venus is our next to last guest. So thank you again, Venus. And I'm going to bring her on shortly. But before I do that, as always, I want to show you guys a trailer from her work. So just like I've been doing at the beginning of each show during this series, is pulling out, a trailer or a reel of some sort for you to understand that person's work. Well, that's what I'm pulling out today. So Venus is going to be talking to us today about the crime series Vindication that she is in. So check right here, guys, and I want you to listen to this trailer or view it, see it. So if you're listening to my podcast, I guess it's listen to it. If you're viewing this, then I guess it's viewing it. Here we go.
This is the second homicide we've had in 14 months.
Are we sure this is a homicide?
My understanding is that there is a concern for safety in the neighborhood, and we're here to help out in any way we can.
The East Bank community remains on edge after the grisly discovery of two bodies.
It's an embarrassment. That's what it is. I know you don't have any leads.
What am I looking at?
Has Dad said anything about what's going on at work?
This is off the record. That means you don't talk about it. Okay?
You heard from him? Did you try to reach out to you at all?
Just stop it! Stop being a cop for just 1 minute!
I can't! Guys, move!
Hey, you can't take my phone!
Watch me!
You have no idea what you're getting yourself into.
Do you even want to catch the guy?
I don't understand. It's just unusual.
Maybe God is trying to tell you something.
How do I make it stop?
Please! Hands where I can see him!
Isn't that fantastic? Fantastic, right? Okay, so let's hear about it. Let's learn what this show is about. So let's bring in Venus, okay? Here we go. Venus, welcome.
Hi, y'all.
I am so glad that you were able to take the time out to be here.
Well, thank you for inviting me. Yeah.
Well, June, I'm so excited you've joined. Yes, it is intense, huh? This series looks awesome. And June, it's Christian entertainment. Can you believe it? Like, the trailer is so good, and it's Christian-based entertainment, so it's awesome.
Yeah.
So Venus, tell us about Vindication. Like, tell us about it. Like, what is the whole, plot, whatever?
So Vindication, it follows that detective that you just saw in the trailer, Detective Gary Travis. It follows his personal life and his work life, and different episodes have just a lot of crime drama, crime happenings, but then also some of his family happenings, and they intertwine. And so each episode is a different, actually in season 1, each episode was like a different crime. And it's so funny because a lot of people thought that they could figure out like, oh, I'm so good at crime dramas and I can usually guess what's going to happen in the first 4 minutes. And like in Vindication, it's just like, you have no clue. You just get thrown off. Oh yeah, it's so fun. Like when I read the scripts, I'm like, oh, this is so good. This is so good.
So it's not like a set crime type at all. Like it could be something different each time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you mean like each episode? Yeah, each episode can be.
Because you know how like you watch like SVU or you watch this and that and the other, and you can kind of gear towards, okay, this is going to be this same type of crime. But yeah, the way you're explaining it sounds really good.
No, they're very different. So we have one that involves sexting. We have one that involves human trafficking. We have one that involves, I think, infidelity. Like we have just a lot of different things that real people struggle with, but it's not usually addressed in Christian films. And so that's what Vindication does, is actually address the hard things, but address it with tact.
I love that, which, you know, literally it's perfect for me on this show because of the fact that what I shared with most people is the reason I created Leslie Said What is because the things that sometimes should be discussed and talked about in our Christian world, we don't usually get to discuss sometimes. And so a lot of times in merging that with our culture and different things like that, like just talking about it and letting it all out type of thing. So it's good because that's the purpose of this show, is that people get to see themselves in some of the things we talk about, and whether they are healed, redeemed, a light bulb goes off, whatever, it's Leslie Said What. So
there you go.
So yeah, that's so cool.
Mm-hmm.
That sounds amazing. Like, I'm super excited. So guys, I admitted to Venus, I have never seen the show. So I have to.
It's so good. And you've got to catch up, Leslie, because season 2 is coming out sometime this fall.
Oh my gosh. Okay. Yeah. So definitely need to catch up. And guys, yes. So like, you know, add it to your binge list, because let's be for real, we all binge watch stuff. So definitely one to be added to your binge list. So I will share with you guys towards the end how to watch it and access Vindication. Okay, so if you're into crime dramas, crime series, this is the way to go.
And you know what's so funny too, as so many people are like, oh, I'll just watch an episode before I go to bed. And if you read the Amazon reviews, you'll see how many people were like, I was just going to watch one episode and then I watched the whole season, or I was just going to watch 2 and then I finished it. It's so funny because that's how good it is.
Oh, I'm so glad. And you know, because you know, us Christian people, especially when it comes to film, we're always like, So it's not one of those cheesy faith-based films.
No, it's the production quality is so good. Like, it's one of those things where you're proud to say that you're a part of it, because you know, like, people aren't going to be doing you favors by watching it. They're actually going to watch it because they want to. It's not like, I'll sit through this for you. No, there's no sitting through it. There's like, I want to sit down and watch it. So good.
Oh, that's so good. So guys, yes, watch Vindication. She says it's not cheesy, so you know, we definitely need to make an effort. So Venus, tell us about yourself. Like, who is Venus?
Well, small town girl. I kind of went from like a small town in West Texas to Austin when I decided to actually do acting, and did that for a while, or still kind of pursue that. God's taken me on a little ride with the acting thing. And now I run a business called Personal Powerhouse, which is equipping young adults that are stepping into adulthood, equipping them with life skills and confidence. And it's more geared towards young women. So that's my business right now, and I love it so much.
That's amazing. I had no idea you were doing that. So see, you never know.
Mm-hmm.
That's truly amazing, especially in seeing the young women that are coming up in my high school classroom and the things that they go through and the things that they're battling with. Is unbelievable. So like, the fact that there are opportunities and things like this for young women is just amazing. They need it, especially when you were saying like to build confidence and things like that, because I'm telling you, like, so many times with our society and the things that affect our girls, like, they are far left when it comes to confidence, self-esteem, security. So yeah, that's amazing.
Yeah.
So like, what is the main goal? Like, so what are some of the things that you've done with Powerhouse? Like, is that okay to share?
Yeah. So the first thing I created for Personal Powerhouse was the life skills mini course, which actually, it's kind of like the skills that you weren't taught in school. Like, I don't know what everybody else was taught, but I wasn't taught the basic things about my car, or like how to rent an apartment. How to change the air filter, all these simple things, even how to put gas in my car. I wasn't taught. I saw it all the time, but when it came to do it by myself, I was like, okay, how do I do this? Which button do I push? Like all the simple stuff that no one teaches you because they expect you to know. So anyway, I started with the life skills mini course, and then now I developed a membership where it's the girls pay every month to stay in the membership. They get mentors. We have a whole bunch of topics that we talk about. We have guest speakers come on and kind of just encourage the girls and talk about a certain thing. So the membership has been super fun.
That is amazing.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, that is so good to hear. Now it's funny because I teach life skills, so that's hilarious.
You do? What I learned actually, life skills is actually for, I guess it's become a term for not just like teaching basic life skills, but for, what am I trying to say? Maybe, I don't know if it's for kids with Down syndrome or...
Oh, I know what you're saying. So it's life skills itself, like the subject life skills, is a part of the special education program.
Yes, that's what I learned recently.
Yep.
And I was like, I had no clue because when I was like growing up, that wasn't a thing.
Right, me either.
Oh, so that's what you teach.
Yeah, well, see, I teach the other side of things. So I teach what used to be called home ec, but now it's called family and consumer sciences because heaven forbid home ec be said it's not politically correct anymore.
Oh my gosh.
So I teach life skills on that end. So like adulting 101 for kids.
Yes. What do you teach them?
So we teach anywhere from budgeting to like taxes to, like you said, run an apartment to we teach parenting skills. We teach balancing work and family, a little bit of everything, nutrition and wellness, how to sew something, how to cook something. So like a little bit of everything built in, but I love how you're taking it to the next level and teaching them about things like with their car and stuff like that is amazing. And like, believe it or not every kid gets to our classroom. So it's amazing that you guys get to catch them with your program.
What age do you teach? What grade level?
I teach 9th through 12th. So I teach all 4 grades in high school.
Oh, good. Okay, because I feel like some of the stuff that I was taught like maybe as a sophomore when it didn't even apply to me. So like when I got out on my own, I was like, oh wait, now I need that class. So,
exactly. And that's what ends up happening is like with some of our classes, like we'll gear a specific class to a specific grade level. A lot of the introductory things we push to 9th grade. And then from there, like our seniors are in career-based classes, how to write a resume, things like that, how to find a job, how to find an apartment. So we kind of shift things depending on their grade level. And of course, it's a program that is continuously evolving because things are always changing. Yes. But it's great to know that even if they miss the boat on this side, you know, they have the opportunity to catch it with something like Personal Powerhouse. So I will definitely share your information. I don't know if it's a nationwide or are you just doing it locally or?
Oh no, it's online. So I have girls I've got a girl from Canada, Kansas, Montana, I mean, just all over. So it's anywhere.
Oh, wow. That's amazing.
Yeah.
Okay. So guys, so anybody paying attention, listening, you know, spread the word. It's right there at the bottom. It'll be scrolling at the bottom the whole time, personalpowerhouse.com. Visit there to send the girls there. And I'll also be, like I said, sending my students there because I had no idea. That's amazing.
Yes. Yeah. Thank you. That'd be great.
Clem said yes because I can't change a tire.
I have a video on that, Clementine, because that's one of those things where like somebody teaches you and they're like, okay, you got it. And it's like, no, I did it one time. But like in the mini course, when you get access to it, depending on which level you get lifetime access. So if you're like, okay, now I need to know how to change a tire, you can go back and watch that video and pause it and do the thing and pause it.
That is so cool because I can't change a tire. I mean, I can check my oil, but I can't change my oil or check my tire. But I mean, I can check the tire, I can check the oil, but I can't change either one.
Yeah, well, you're a step ahead of a lot of people, so that's good.
I'll take it. I will take it, Venus. Clem says she will definitely check that out.
Yay! Thank you. That's awesome.
Crystal is saying, hey, from Alaska. Hey, Crystal.
Hey, Crystal. Alaska. Wow.
Yeah, she's out in Alaska. She's also saying, Clementine Anderson, neither can I. Hubby told me he would teach me when we were dating. 20 years later, late of being together, he's like, just call me or I'll call for help.
That's so, and see, that's part of it too, is like a lot of people, they want to teach, but they either, like even parents, they either don't have the time or it slips their mind. Like, because there's so much happening in parents' worlds. Like, I've got to go to work and I've got to take all the kids to all their things and then take care of the home. And so it's kind of like the basic, simple stuff isn't taught to the kids before they go.
It's so true.
Yeah.
It's so true. It's that gap there, and you're filling that gap, which is amazing.
Yeah. Well, God gave it to me. I take no credit for it.
Oh, well, I hear you, girl. Yes, give God the glory. June says, so valuable. Growing up poor, no one had a checkbook in my family. A teacher showed me how to open my first account. Oh, wow,
that's
June.
so good, June.
That's amazing.
Yeah. It's always good when people step in like that and help you because I feel like that's one of those things where they're like, well, you should know how to do that. You go to the bank and they make you feel dumb for not knowing this. But it's like, no one taught me. I don't know to ask for a checking account or a savings account or even the difference in the two.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And that's the thing. Like, as a teacher, in my aspect, like, obviously, like, there's the special ed realm. So there's the special ed life skills realm where they teach, the children who can learn certain things but need to learn it in a different way. That's the special ed department. And then there's my department, which is family consumer sciences, and we teach like the general population. But like I said, not every girl comes through our class because, a lot of times with my class, it's an elective. So, a lot of the girls are like, well, I'm trying to get into college. I could take an extra math class instead of taking your class. So, we miss them. So it's so great that, hey, I could still be like, hey, I know you missed my class, but here's an opportunity to reach out through Personal Powerhouse to learn some of the things that you, probably some of it you wouldn't have learned in my class, especially with the tire stuff.
Yeah.
Crystal said she also wants to check it out. So she said, me too. I love this.
Awesome. Yeah.
And Clem says I'm on it, girl.
Y'all are so amazing. You have a great audience, Leslie.
Yes, they're so good. I love it. Okay, so in addition to Personal Powerhouse, what directed you to acting? How did you get into acting?
God told me to.
Go. That's what's up.
I know. I was like, I actually tried it in high school for whatever reason. It's like saw it in the back of a paper, did the whole thing, got an agent, didn't like it, was like, no, I'm not doing this. Knew that I was never going to do it. And then I was walking on my college campus and totally out of the blue, it just like hit me. Like, I want to do acting. Why am I not doing acting? And I don't know where that came from because the other side of my brain was like, no, you hate acting. What are you talking about? So I was like, I knew it was God. And so after that, I started doing some stage stuff in my college. And then I did some extra work for some films that came out to my college. And then after that, I graduated, started doing like short films, feature films, and then finally moved to Austin. But yeah, I mean, it's so funny. People say, why do you love acting? And I'm like, no, I don't love acting. I do acting because I'm told to. And I'm going to do it as best as I can because I'm supposed to. But,
yes, I love that. I do acting because I love God.
Yeah.
And he told me to do it. Yes.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, that's so funny. That's what I always say. The reason why I got so excited when you said that is that's what I say when people say, why do you do comedy? I'm telling you, God told me. And they're like, really? No, he did. I promise he did.
When did he tell you?
Believe it or not, Venus, I was in Kuwait. I was living in Kuwait. I was living in the Middle East.
Why?
I wanted to teach internationally. So I did. So I went to teach at the American school in Kuwait. It was like the embassy preferred school. So it was really cool to work with like the U.S. embassy kids, the U.S. military kids. And then I worked with some of the Kuwaiti locals and royalty and all that stuff. It was super cool. Amazing. So teaching abroad. And then I remember it was at my point where I was just like, Lord, okay, what is your will for me to do? Like, obviously, I know this sounds crazy, but I tell people all of us have the same purpose as Christians as to win souls for Christ, but we all have a gift that we need to do. And that was what he told me my gift was comedy, is making people smile, bringing joy to people. That was my gift. And I was like, can I get another one?
I'm going to put that one back and I'm going to draw a new card.
Exactly. Funny. Yeah. Lord, no.
So you hadn't thought of doing comedy before that?
No.
Oh, wow.
Like, I'm telling you. So like I had done a show a few years ago and I was always the comical one, but I had done a show a few years ago and then I was like, never doing that again. Because I literally have come from a background of like bullying and so many things, depression, anxiety, whatever. So getting on a stage and expecting people to laugh without rejecting me was not going to be a thing.
Yeah.
because my biggest fear was rejection and like my insecurities and everything. And then God literally stripped me of all that just a few years ago. And now, girl, I'm like, say what?
Oh, that's so good. Oh
The
my
person
gosh.
I am today, girl, is definitely not the person you would have met a couple years ago. Let's just say it like
That's
that.
amazing. And I'm
Yeah.
like, I'm super proud of you for going to Kuwait, because a lot of people would say, oh, I want to go. I think it'd be awesome to teach internationally, but they would never act on it. So good
Yeah.
for you for actually doing it.
Yeah, and see, and that's one of my things is I don't want any regrets. I don't mind
Yeah.
like trying something and then just kidding, but I'm gonna try it all. And anybody who's watching who knows me well enough will be like, yeah, she does. Because like if I have a business idea, I'll try it. If it doesn't work, then it didn't work. But
Yeah.
at least I can't say I didn't try.
Exactly.
So yeah, so that's my big thing.
Oh, I love it.
So is your most recent work Vindication, or is there something else?
So I think, I don't know if we were off air or on air when I was telling you that the acting thing has kind of been like this, but recently I felt like God has been saying, okay, you can start to get back into acting, because in late 2017, I felt him taking me out of it. And so we moved away from like Austin, where all the film work was. But I prayed, like, I was like, Lord, because the way I got on Vindication, which I don't know if we'll talk about it, but I was like, Lord, I felt like you gave me Vindication, but you're telling me to leave acting. So I'm really at a crossroads. What do I do? And he gave me a clear as day sign to do Vindication. So I did Vindication and no other acting for the last few years. But so now I feel like he's slowly opening that door again. And the most recent thing, someone reached out to me to do a foster care commercial. So I did that like a week or two ago.
Oh,
So,
cool.
yeah.
Yeah, and that's so good that you're remaining humble and consulting the Lord, because a lot of times, and that's how I know friends who've gone into acting before and they've made it, like Hollywood level made it, and they've compromised things and shifted themselves into things that they know that probably not so much that Christ is leading them. But it just like they said, I think it was Lauren Daigle. She said in an interview not too long ago, she said that if she doesn't remain humble, that it'll get to her head. It'll go to her head and she'll become somebody she knows she's not supposed to be in Christ. So like she keeps herself humble so that she can clearly hear from God versus just hearing from agents and people and different things like that. So it's so good to hear you say that, like, hey, I'm just listening to the Lord and he said Vindication, so that's what I was doing.
Yeah. And
Yeah,
it's crazy sometimes too, because I'm like, I question him all the time. I'm like, did I hear you? Did I hear? Wait, you did say that, right? Okay. Am I still on pause? Like, I'm waiting for you to say, yes, it's time. And so it's just like these little things where I'm like, you feel like you heard him, but you still question it sometimes.
Yeah.
But yeah.
And you're like, Lord, I know. I did. I hear you.
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah.
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 And especially, I don't know about you, Venus, but it's like once I ask him, right? And then like some time has passed and you're like, you're going to answer me, right? Because I have no idea.
Yeah.
where I'm going, Jesus. So
yes, I know. And I was talking to the mentors in the sisterhood. We have like a group texting, and we were talking about so I was just telling him, like, I know we have free will, but I kind of don't really need free will. Like, I want to do your will. So just tell me what your will is. And that way I can stay on the right path. And it's not a waste of anybody's time. It's not a waste of your time creating me and my time and whatever.
I'm with you. I'm so with you.
Yeah.
It's true. It's like, Lord, I know like you said, the free will, I know I have an option, but can you just not give me one at this point?
Right.
Just tell me what to do.
Yeah.
Just tell me what to do.
Exactly.
Like literally, that's where I have been lately. It's like, Lord, just tell me what to do. And if for some reason things aren't moving, I'm just staying where you last told me to stay. And that is what people need to understand is that if he hasn't told you to move, stay there.
Yes.
And then wait. But we get impatient. He didn't say for, hey, go along and try to figure out what it is I was trying to tell you to do next. No, chill.
Yeah, that's what my mom told me recently, because she and I talk about it all the time, and she was like, if you don't know what to do the last directive God gave you. And I'm like, okay, what's the last thing he told me? I'm gonna do that. And then I saw this quote, I guess, recently, and it said, when you feel like God's taking forever, remember that his schedule is different from yours, something like that. And it was like, oh, that's really good, which I don't think I quoted it properly right now, but
yeah, no, I definitely get what you're saying. Oh,
yeah.
So good. It is so good. I often quote a quote from the movie Facing the Giants. I don't know if you've seen that movie, but there's a quote in there where it says, God will send the rain when he's ready. You just need to prepare your fields to receive it.
Oh,
And it's like,
that's
whoa.
good.
So whenever I get like to the point where I'm like, Jesus,
Yeah.
what you doing, Lord? I'm like, you know what? I've prepared. Now just wait.
Yes. Oh, that's so good. I'm glad you said that.
Yeah, it's really good.
Yeah.
June said being called to the craft from Christ is the ultimate approval.
Oh, isn't that true?
Took the power of approval out of the hands of man for me in comedy. Amen, June. I'm with you, girl.
That's so good. Yeah.
It's exactly what he did. Oh, it's so true. Clem said yes, he knows.
Yeah.
And she said, oh yeah, the Facing Giants movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's just so true. Like he'll do it. We just have to be patient, as hard as it is to be patient. So
trust and obey. Trust and obey.
Now, why Christian entertainment?
I'm not actually stuck to just Christian entertainment. I mean, I would do secular as long as whatever the project was had a redeeming or positive story. Like, I'm not going to do something just because it's work or just because it's good pay. If the story doesn't align with like how I feel and what I want people to walk away from something feeling motivated or inspired to change in a positive way. So I don't necessarily only do Christian entertainment, but it seems to be what I've done lately. But
yeah, but I love that. That's actually something that Christopher Sean Shaw, when I had him on here, he said the same thing. He was saying like, it's not that he's closed off to directing something that's non-Christian. It's just that he's not going to, if you offer him $1 billion to do something that is clearly not ordained by God, he's still not going to do it.
Yeah, so, exactly. Good for him.
Yeah. Okay. What is an obstacle that you've had to overcome as an actress? I don't know why I said actor. Sorry, girl.
Oh, no, I don't care. No, I take actor. I say actor. I don't even say actor.
Okay, good. Okay, good.
I guess 2 of them. So one would be like the ego of people watching you be vulnerable. And I remember I did a little bit of Meisner when I first started. And it was kind of like, I remember one class where we had to create the scenario in our head. And I created it so real to me. It was like sci-fi, but I created it so real in my head that I was just weeping and sobbing. And I didn't care what anybody in that class thought of me or how I looked or how I felt or like anything. And it just kind of was like very freeing because I was so real to what I felt that it was just like, oh, this is what it is to be vulnerable and to still have people watch me be vulnerable. So that was one of them. And then I think the other thing, I guess, I don't know that I've had to overcome it, or it's just that I've experienced it a lot, is people expecting you because you're an actor to do anything the script calls for. And I'm like, no, I've got morals and I've got values and I got my husband and I got, all this stuff. So no, I'm not doing that.
I love that. Mm-hmm. I love that. That's something that Kirk Cameron talks a lot about, is that like with different scenes and different things like that, he's like, if you can substitute my wife in, fine. If you can't substitute my wife in, I'm out. Like, just people who, yeah, I don't know if you knew that, but in the movie Fireproof, I don't know if you saw the movie Fireproof, but in that movie at the end, when he kisses the kiss at the end in the firehouse, they blacked it out. Because that's his wife that jumps in and kisses him to cover so that the girl. It was just cute. Like things like that. Actors that have morals and oh my goodness. That's again something I was talking about with one of my friends. She had said like you get involved in contracts and different things and then you end up going so far left that you're like, oh my gosh, Jesus, I'm so sorry. So, there's it's good that you said, like, you stick to your morals, you stand your ground, because that truly, at the end of the day, only what we do for Christ will last. So,
yeah. And also I feel like a lot of people, they'll do the tiny compromise. Like, oh, I guess I can. It's just this, or it's just that. But then you find those people that are like, well, you did it before. Why don't you do it again? And it's like, just don't even compromise in the first place and you'll set yourself up better.
It's true. Don't put yourself in that situation ever. Yeah, it's so true. Well, thank you so much, Venus. I really appreciate this. I'm just going to put here so that everybody knows. And if you want to share with them again about season 2 and how that's going to come out.
Oh my gosh, season 2 is so good. So I don't know exactly the date that it's going to come out, but it's going to come out sometime this year. And then the trailer, I believe, is coming out sometime this summer. So it's going to be really, really soon. So
Okay.
try to catch Vindication soon. So you know the stories and you know the characters. Don't just go into season 2.
Exactly. And get familiar
So
with
good.
it. So yeah, guys, so this is how you can watch Vindication. You can use it Amazon Prime, PureFlix, Redeem TV, and Inspiration TV. Clem said, awesome interview.
Thank you. I'm so glad you're here.
Thanks, Clem. All right, guys, that is it for tonight. I am going to pull Venus out. Venus, thank you again.
Thank you, Leslie. This was fun.
Yeah, I enjoyed it. Thank you.
Go have a good night.
You too. All right, guys, as I always say, that was super fun. I was so glad to have Venus here on the show. I hope you guys were able to really experience and see and get exposure to the show Vindication that she is a part of. Again, if you're into like crime series and stuff like that, I encourage you guys to watch Vindication, okay? And it's on, like she said, Prime, PureFlix, Redeem TV, and Inspiration TV. Definitely worth the watch. So while y'all out there watching Criminal Minds and all that crazy stuff, you can watch some Christian crime shows too. I'm just saying, putting that out there just to say. Crystal says, oh, whoops, different one. Oh, June, that's it. Great job, Rob. Got it. Sorry, June, you were hidden down there at the bottom of the comment list. Thank you so much, June, for your encouragement. And thank you so much, everyone, for being here. Oh my goodness. I feel like I'm talking so much, guys. I'm trying to catch up with my own breath, but like I'm talking so fast. Anyway, thanks again, everybody, for coming. As always, I enjoyed every time you guys are here, and even more so when you comment and you participate. So thank you, thank you, thank you. This is season 2, episode 5, out.